everyone, and welcome to the KW Ranch and Kitchen. So yesterday I was talking to a friend and she made the comment saying that she wished she had more land because she'd like to do more growing of her own food and more homesteading. And it dawned on me, a lot of people don't feel they can homestead because they don't have a lot of land. That's not the case. You can homestead without a lot of land. Homesteading could be a number of things, like learning how to make your own bread, canning, for instance, buy things in bulk and can them. Homesteading is a lot of different things. Now, granted, most homesteaders do want to grow most of the food that they eat. Like I know my goal is to raise or grow at least 50 to 75% of our own food. Last year we did a really good job of growing a lot of our own stuff, but you know, I'm in the Adirondacks. I can't grow peaches. I can't grow plums. I can't grow a lot of the fruit I can or freeze. This year I am going to add more strawberries and see how we do with the strawberries, but otherwise I buy my strawberries from the Amish to make my strawberry jam, strawberry syrup, fresh strawberries. So just because you want to homestead doesn't mean you have to do it all yourself. Not to mention, there are people that do not have time, like those that work at jobs that insist they work a 6-day work week at 8 hours a day, or those that work mandatory overtime that work 70 hours a week. Do you think those people are going to have time to homestead completely? Take care of their own garden, take care of their animals, especially all by themselves. Like with the KW, it's John and I. I am home most of the time. The only time I'm not home is when I'm going to buy supplies or I'm going to buy grain. But if I wasn't here, when was John going to have time to go buy grain? When would John have time to go buy supplies like milk replacer if we have a bottle calf? He works too much to be able to do that. He's at the Civic Center, he's at his caretaking job, he has his judgeship. So I need to be able to be home and make sure there's no shenanigans going on in the pasture. Make sure if we have a new calf, he or she's feeding off their mother. If not, I need to be here to be able to bottle feed. Same thing with hay. You know, someone needs to be here if he can't make it home to feed at nighttime. Let's see here. So you don't have to do it all yourself. You don't have to do it all at the same time. And you don't have to do it all. Like, there are so many different things. Like, for instance, I have a book that is Backyard Homesteading. This is Backyard Homesteading. And in the first section of it is how much property do you need? You know, the very first one is how to homestead on a tenth of an acre. That's not that big. It's actually quite small. And it has 8 vegetable beds that are all 4 by 8 feet. Has various fruit trees and grapevines. It has your herbs, you know, the main herbs that you use, like say you mostly are looking for your kitchen herbs. You grow your kitchen herbs, you dry them, you put them in jars, and you don't have to buy them. Grow what vegetables that you eat. Like I know here, we eat a lot of broccoli. Aaron and I like our broccoli. We eat a lot of broccoli. So last year, I grew broccoli and cabbage and tomatoes, and I didn't grow enough broccoli. I didn't grow enough cabbage or cauliflower either. I lost my cabbage actually. I canned it, and then yesterday I had a mishap because I was being stubborn and I had to do things myself. I couldn't wait for help. And I had a chair as close to the canning jars as I could get without actually being right on them. And there was a chain that was down and I wanted to go fix it. Well, here I am. I'm reaching for the chain, reaching for the chain, reaching for the chain, and the chair tips. And the chair and myself go foof right over you. On what would you think I went over on? The canning jars. The filled canning jars, knocking over the entire shelf. Breaking canning jars, knocking canning jars over, and I went into it. Luckily, I'm not 100% sure how, but I didn't cut myself because I did break some jars. I only lost two out of a lot of jars. And so I got bumped, bruised. You know, I'm having a hard time using my left shoulder today. That's why you'll see me using my right more than my left. But and I got a bruise on my left leg that looks like I got hit by a truck. But anyways, it could have been so much worse, even though my first thought process was, how far is John to get home, to get me to the hospital, which is how far away. Town is 16 miles. I think the hospital's 36. So, you know, between the 16 miles to get to me and then get me to the hospital is another 36. And if I cut myself really bad, I'd be screwed. I'd be seriously screwed. So that was a wake-up call for me yesterday. Do not do anything stupid and wait for help. I'm not good at asking for help. I'm not good at waiting for help, and I'm slightly stubborn. So every now and then I have to get reminded to wait for help. But back to homesteading. So another way to homestead, besides growing as much food as you can, but only what you eat, make your own groceries. Make your own baking mixes. Instead of buying pancake mix, waffle mix, muffin mix, buy the staples. Get your flour, your sugar, and that's basic. Well, flour, sugar, baking soda, baking powder, and make your own. Hot chocolate mix. Make sure you have your unsweetened cocoa, your coffee creamer, your plain coffee creamer, your powdered milk. Like, I use this book a lot. It's called Make Your Own Cookbook. It's Make Your Own Cookery. And as you see, I use this thing a lot. It's actually falling apart. I'm gonna have to tape this thing. And then it has a whole bunch of other different recipes in it. So make your own groceries. Make your own, look into small backyard gardening. If you have a 1/4 acre, look into a 1/4 acre. That's the second one on this, in this one. Then another easy staple, how much bread do you guys eat? Like, truly eat. How many loaves of bread do you go through a week? What kind of bread do you buy? Do you buy the basic white bread that you can get for, I think it's $1.19 or $1.29 now, which is the cheap, like, store-bought bread? Or even, I think at Walmart it's 99 cents. Or do you buy the $3.99 loaf of bread, the Italian sourdough? Why don't you make your own bread? Now, you're gonna sit there and be like, because I don't have all day to make bread. Well, if you're not sure about bread and you're not 100% sure you're gonna be able to do bread or even have time, I recommend the artisan bread in 5 minutes. Artisan bread in 5 minutes is amazing. You mix up a whole big bin of dough and you put it in your fridge. You pull out like a pound of bread dough in the morning, knead it, let it rise, throw it in the oven, bake it, or even in the evening. Let it rise, bake it, and have fresh bread for dinner. Super simple, super easy, great for beginner bread makers. I highly recommend it for beginner bread makers. And they have actually 3 different books for the 5-minute the bread in 5 minutes. They have this one, which is the original artisan bread in 5. They have the new artisan bread in 5. And they also have the healthy artisan bread in 5, which I have all 3. And for those that work all the time, there is the Weekend Homesteader book. You go through and it tells you what you need to do, when you need to do it, and how long it should take. Super easy, super directive. Like, look at this. Here is September or March if you're in the down under. September canning, what you should can, why you should can or maybe not. Summer vegetables, how you can go to your farmers markets and talk to the farmers. So in case you don't have time to grow everything yourself, go hit those farmers markets, hit those farms, check out Marketplace, look for the deals. I found last year, I found an entire bag of carrots for $10. I found a huge 50-pound bag of potatoes for $20. I found a 50-pound bag of apples that would make applesauce for $10. So it's really not that hard to homestead. You just have to figure out how to do it. Set up rain barrels. Collect rainwater to water your garden with if you're in an area that you don't have a lot of water. Like if you have a well, set up a rain barrel and water your animals or your garden with the rain barrel water, so you don't have to worry about running out on your well. There's a lot of things that you can do to make your life easier, lower your bills, lower your cost of living, and be able to homestead without a lot of time, without a lot of space, and without a lot of money. So that's all I've got to say for now. Thank you for tuning in to the KW Ranch and Kitchen. I've got a puppy down there that's barking at me because I'm upstairs and she's not. So I'm gonna let you go now. Okay, thanks, bye. Maggie, come on, Maggie May. What are you doing? What are you doing, good girl? Huh? You're just more interested in sitting at my feet than anything else. Hey! Maggie. It's a good girl. What did you bring me, huh? No, you didn't get it? You didn't get it? Oh, look at you. Such a pretty girl. Look at all that snow. Wow. What is that? Huh? What is that? Do you hear the babies? Do you hear the cows? Here comes Daddy. Here comes Daddy. Well, I guess that's that. Looks like she's ready to go back inside.